Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I got a little hang up with the different Zoom accounts. So we're about to start. Let's just allow a minute or two for people to join. Thank you all for coming on. Okay, let's just allow a minute for people to join, and we're starting in a second. Nice to see everyone. Hi, guys. Hi, Yannick. Hi, Gabriel. Hi, Anwar. Hi, Laura, Losha, Tracy, Tamiris. Hope I pronounce your name correctly. Chaz, Jashid, Winnet. Beautiful. T. Oh, so good to see you in this live call. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So let's jump in. Ooh, wow, we're on training 3. It's amazing. Wow, it's been a journey, at least for me. I'm pretty sure for you guys as well. So we're on training 3. Wow, this is we're past the midpoint of this container. And so as always, we'll start with a 2-3 minute exercise to cohere as a group, and we'll guide a very short meditation for us, and also I will play this same 5.5 second breathing sequence. And so I suggest all of us to gently close down our eyes for just 2-3 minutes for this small exercise to cohere as a group. So gently close down your eyes and take those deep 3 smooth breaths to arrive, to leave behind the previous to-do, the remaining to-dos, what you're going to be doing afterwards. So take those 3 deep, beautiful breaths. Drop into presence, drop into your physical body, feel the contact with your chair. Feel your root chakra grounding you. As you breathe out, feel like your energy, your root extends to the very center of the earth, to the very tiny, infinitely small dot from which the Earth's magnetic sphere emanates, where the gravity of Earth is concentrated and the highest. Feel your connection to that point. Now, bring your attention to your heart space. Let's feel gratitude together for that we're alive. Another day, we're alive. We made it here. We're gathering as a tribe, learning, remembering, showering one another with love. And we're going to be doing conscious breaths, 5.5 seconds. And I want you to imagine how you blow air on fire. Everybody has done it as a kid, maybe even recently. You know, how we blow air on fire to make it go even further. So we're going to be breathing just like that into our heart space, into the center of our heart with our breaths, just without that intensity, in a gentle way, just having that consistency, energy, how we blow into the fire. So I'm going to be starting the sound in just a second. I'm going to be starting in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Gently start coming back. Feel your entire system, that connection with the earth, the heart, the physical body, the space you're in, and gently open your eyes, come back. Thank you for this beautiful practice together. Yeah, now that we're playing this game, and thank you for those that already joined the game. My experience has been tremendous, amazing. It's so amazing to do it as a group. And I'm noticing how my system is remembering to breathe consciously, even outside of those 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever times that the game supposes us to breathe. And I'm already feeling really amazing effects. So if you haven't joined the game, I really suggest and recommend and invite us all to to play. It's also so easy. Like, I'm loving the simplicity of it. I mean, what does it take to take 1 conscious breath a day? I mean, it's not a big deal. So, anyways, let's go into our stuff for today. Just reminding us that we started by painting that full map of map of full human potential, so that we start to know what's available, what's possible for us. And then we went into accelerating. So looking at that map, what can we do to actually grow into all that potential? And today we're into a zone of genius. So we'll dedicate this session to zone of genius. We'll articulate, activate, and look into monetization of our zone of genius. Then in the next session, we'll continue by looking at the playbooks of conscious entrepreneurship. We'll weave the zone of genius into it. I'm really looking forward to that one specifically. And then we'll finish strong with AI codes. I've been sharing that I've been working with AI in startups in Silicon Valley and not only, for over 10 years. So I've got some interesting stuff to share, I believe, and we'll celebrate as always. So in the last episode or last training, yeah, we looked at the map of human potential in the first session. And then in the second session, we asked ourselves, okay, so how does one actually accelerate that growth? And one does it through training. Like accelerating growth in anything takes training. And so we looked at what would training look like. And we discussed that key where the optimal growth is actually balanced growth, sustained growth. And that's the fastest growth too. And then we asked ourselves, okay, so how could we design just one training that accelerates growth across all key areas and skills and competencies, etc. And we used the map of human development that we discussed in the first one. And then we went into shortcuts, practices, meta keys, meta practices, and master practices on each one of those 5 trajectories, right? And so we took a look at a whole bunch of keys one by one, and then we simplified them, all that complexity into the conscious breath and heart centering home fun and exercise and practice. And each person selected the top 3 codes that resonated with them the most. And now we're jumping into our training 3, zone of genius. So welcome. And we'll start by immediately talking about the practical use of the zone of genius. So what's the use? Why even talk about this, right? And so there are many reasons, and these are some of the ones that stand out for me the most. One is that if we're able to articulate our zone of genius, what we are especially good at, then we can communicate that to the world. We can communicate that for jobs. We can communicate that for roles that we can choose in any project, and many other reasons. Secondly, our competences grow faster. If we bring awareness into what we're best at, then our competences start to grow faster because we're just simply putting energy there. Thirdly, our productive output grows. Why? Well, because imagine if we do more of what we are best at and what's most natural and easy for us, then the results follow suit. The better results come, which is productive output. Then we are able to access flow states more often, right? So being in that oneness with the task we're engaged in, because we're just so immersed in it, so loving it, that that's what they call flow state, basically. And then next, we are able to monetize our creations more. And we'll talk about this in this session. I want to make sure that I actually pin my video, because I think I forgot to do that. 1 second. Just a quick pause. I need to pin my video so that it shows up on the... There you go. Okay, back to where we were. Yes, then naturally we feel more excitement as we go about life. That's a big one. And then we gain more clarity and more direction. So this is what I feel is the most outstanding practical use of the zone of genius. And so today, what we're going to be doing is that we'll start by demystifying purpose and mission. We did that a little bit in the first session, but we'll go deeper into that. Then we'll locate ourselves on the spectrum of uniqueness development. Then we'll define the practical use of purpose and mission. So why know one's purpose and mission? What's the practicality of it? Then we'll see our zone of genius as a way to approximate our purpose. Then we'll get a look and feel for what the zone of genius even is. Then we'll articulate our zones of genius. That's a big one. Then we'll remember those episodes at times when we were in our zone of genius, each one of us, and how it felt back then. Then we'll dive into mastery, creativity and authenticity, and monetization of the zone of genius. This is the plan for today. So I'm very excited to dive deep. So we'll start by a little interactive piece. I will ask you to formulate your purpose and your mission in one sentence each, and we got about 1 minute to do that. So if you're willing to share it on the chat, please do. Not obligatory, obviously. Like nothing is, I guess. So please formulate your purpose and mission in one sentence, and just have it either for yourself or put it in the chat. And we got 1 minute for that. About 20 more seconds left. And 1 minute is over. And just recognize how this exercise was for you. Was it easy, difficult? Did you struggle? Are you sure about what you wrote? Were you able to write anything? Have you done that before? How do you feel about that? So just take a moment to reflect a little bit on how it was for you. And let's continue. So I want to start by saying that there is a lot of confusion in this space. There's a lot of confusion. So people talk about purpose and mission as if they know exactly what that means. People also use, throw around words like superpower. What's your superpower? Or what's your unique gift? What's your passion? Uniqueness is becoming increasingly popular as well. If you look at the world of HR and companies, then it's about strengths, talents, abilities, competencies, right? And also talents, innate talents. In psychology, it's innate talents. People use that term a lot. And the question is, how do they all relate? Like, what does this all mean? Like, what is exactly going on here? And I believe it's messy. It's messy. Few people can define any of those. Few people, even fewer people, can actually structure it and understand how they relate to one another. So it's messy. And so what I'd love us to do is to clear out some of that mess and get clarity, get structure into this and understand what we're really talking about. Because I believe truly that this is the first part of the Zone of Genius work. There needs to be clarity on what are all these things? What are all these things? How do they relate? How do they play out in my life? Okay. And I believe also that there is an epidemic in the world. It's an epidemic of the lack of fulfillment, lack of direction, lack of meaning as well. And so it's not uncommon to hear people say things like, I feel like I'm just drifting aimlessly through the days without a clear idea of where I'm headed. Or to say, I feel some emptiness, like something important is missing in my professional life, let's say. Or they say, I struggle to make important life choices because I'm not sure what I truly want. I've definitely been there. I would even claim to say that, most of humanity lives their life with that kind of confusion in their systems. And it need not be so, really. It need not be so. So let's clear up this mess a little bit. And we're going to be doing that by understanding uniqueness. And we've spoken that uniqueness, we've discussed that uniqueness is one of the trajectories of human development. It's a really key, important area of our growth, of how we grow as humans. And what changes as we grow, the level of excitement is a nice, easy to understand measurement of the progress along that trajectory. And so as we progress along that trajectory and as we feel more and more excited throughout our days, we're moving towards a path of least resistance, a path of excitement. Same thing, path of least resistance. And what is that path of least resistance? That path of least resistance is when we do what we love doing. We do what excites us the most. We do what's most natural to us. We do what feels like our path of service. We feel in service. We're feeling useful, valuable to others. We also do what brings the best results, which is intuitive, right? Because if we do something we love doing and it's very easy and natural to us, well, of course, we're going to get great results, and others are going to value it. And that same thing, that same path is going to put us into the flow state more and more. And this is our zone of genius, really. And this is the best illustration or analogy or metaphor that I have for this. This is someone walking on a rope across a canyon, and this is that path of least resistance, right? That's that beautiful mode of living where all those things are true. And so the question then arises, okay, how do I get on that path exactly? And I want to ask you, would you like a magic pill? Would you like a magic pill? Well, there isn't one. Sorry to say, not sorry. There isn't one. There isn't the magic pill. So the only thing that I can offer, and that I truly believe that is offered to us as human beings, is recognizing that path of least resistance, accepting that path of least resistance, accepting our most abilities that are most natural to us, and trusting the process of moving towards that path of least resistance, right? So seeing it not as a black and white kind of, I'm not on that path, I am on that path, but as a process, And so recognizing that process of moving towards there, accepting and trusting that process. And that's not all. There we have one more option, I believe, and that is to accelerate it, to choose to accelerate movement towards there by working and knowing our zone of genius, working towards there and stabilizing in the zone of genius. And I want to make a quick disclaimer that this is also not to be taken to its extremity. Like, we're not talking about only doing what we're absolutely natural at and being zealous about it and being rigid about it. No, of course, life is infinitely, what's the word? I'm missing a word here. Has variability. Life has variability. There are different things to life. Sometimes we got to take the trash out and just to, put a phrase to it. It's not only about sticking to that zone of genius and being rigid about it. It's about living life. However, it is possible to stabilize in the zone of genius and that path of least resistance. So how do we do that? And in order to get there, we need to think back about the uniqueness. We start there. So everybody's unique, as we were saying in the previous two sessions. Everybody's unique. Fingerprint is unique for all humans. That's kind of the proof of it. And we were also saying that every leaf on any tree is completely unique. Never ever there has been a leaf like that, and never ever will be. Humans, same thing. And so as we develop across our uniqueness trajectory, we can think of stages, right? We can break it down into easy to understand stages, like we were saying last time. And so what we'll do now is that we'll finally look at that map of uniqueness that I mentioned a few times. So don't read it yet. I'll make sure to explain this to you, and we won't read the whole thing. We'll make it home fun for the next week. So in order to understand what we're talking about here is that let's first look at the stages, right? So the columns are the stages. We've spoken about them a little bit, and the essence of it is that first we live without even asking ourselves what we're good at. At some point, we start to ask ourselves what we're good at because we want, to fit in, and we want to make money, and so have some kind of employment job. And so we start to figure out like what jobs are for us, what aren't. but it's an initial stage. And then in stage 3, what happens is that there's some kind of an initiation into zone of genius and into purpose, where we ask ourselves, okay, well, actually, I value my talents, and I also accept what I'm not that great at. So that starts a process of evolution on that path. And then in stage 4, and we could also come up, with 11 stages or 21 stages. It's just a matter of how much we zoom in. And it's a matter of being reflective of the reality of how it actually happens in our lives. Can I ask you guys to mute yourselves, whoever is not muted, please, because otherwise I would need to get out of the presentation. Thank you so much. So in the stage 4, we integrate with the world. So we find a place how those talents fit in with the demands of the world and where we can provide and add value. And then that evolves further into authentic and embodied self-expression, where we plug in just in the right ways, and we potentialize all that impact that we can have by really playing to our strengths. And then on the left-hand side, you have the rows, and the rows are like what actually changes as we go through that stages and as we develop on uniqueness. And these are excitement levels. So our excitement levels grow as we advance. Then flow state. We have more access to flow state for longer periods of time with higher frequency, etc. Then we're also able to articulate what is it that we do best, better and better and better. Then we're also moving along our path of mastery. So all those innate natural talents for us, they grow, competencies grow on top of them. People also call it skills. It's similar. Skills, competencies, they grow on top of those talents. And so we master our talents, our zone of genius more and more and more as we develop. And then finally, we choose projects more wisely. So we choose projects so that we can play those roles that are actually most conducive for us to deliver the best results and to enjoy the process. And so our choice of projects matures. Okay. And so home fun for next week, and I'll explain it. I'll send a message after this training to locate yourself on this map, and I'll explain how. Okay, so this is going to be great, and this is going to be yet another data point for us to see where we are, so that then we can see what is the next stage for us, what are we growing into, and then also to measure progress at some point to see, okay, I've advanced. That's the idea. So I'll send a message on this later on. Okay, so now that we've seen kind of the panorama of what's possible in terms of uniqueness and all that potential we're growing into right now, well, in this training, yes, but even outside of this training, like it's a never-ending process. It always happens. So now we're going to bring it into the masculine and feminine aspects of uniqueness, because that's going to get us to the zone of genius and to finally do the actual interactive process and the exercises and the definitions of the zone of genius. But before we do that, we need to get more clarity on what are we talking about. So as I said a couple of times already, it's very helpful to look at the masculine and the feminine manifestation or aspect of anything, in this case uniqueness. And so I touched upon this a little bit, so let's drive it home. So the masculine aspect of uniqueness is doing, and the feminine aspect of uniqueness is being. That's yeah. And so specifically we'll use purpose and mission as the two words, and purpose is the being part, being something. And then mission is the doing part. So doing something by being that. Don't worry, I'll make it much clearer now. So the feminine aspect, the purpose, the being, I showed this table before. So basically all kinds of traditions and knowledge systems, they agree that there is something like purpose that exists. They just call it different names. And on the mission side, same thing. So all these traditions agree that there is something, a journey, a quest, a task, a mission, a duty, a path, right? A destiny of some sorts. A dharma is in Hinduism, and in some branches of Buddhism, they call it. So kind of suggests us that, okay, there is some truth to it, like it probably exists. And let's define them. So what is that thing that we'll call purpose, and what is that thing that we will call mission? Purpose is the intrinsic or inner quality or essence within you that defines what you are naturally inclined to do. Purpose is the intrinsic quality or essence within you that defines what you're naturally inclined to do. And the mission is the practical application and the realization of that inner essence or quality through specific actions, goals, and contributions. Okay? Mission is the practical application and the realization of your purpose through specific actions, goals, and contributions. And so if we bridge them together, if we combine them now, again, into uniqueness, then what we're essentially saying is that your inner essence finds its expression through your life's actions, projects, achievements. Okay? And in other words, to put it very simply, purpose fuels your mission, and the mission embodies your purpose. Okay? And so if we were to put it even more bluntly and simply and just simplify it, then we could also say that purpose is the matching roles, is the roles. Role is a word that is very simple, that everybody understands, and it's in essence very similar to purpose in this meaning that we're giving it. So matching roles is purpose. Being on purpose is to play matching roles that really match with that inner essence of you, okay? And so mission, similarly, it's just tasks. Tasks not in a sense that like, you know, cook a meal, but something more longer than that. So projects, tasks. Tasks could also be longer tasks, right? So it's matching tasks that really resonate and align with that inner essence of you, and you're called to do those tasks and not the others. Okay, so from now on, so we've clarified this whole space, right, of uniqueness, purpose, mission, superpower, etc. And now we'll focus on purpose in the zone of genius. Mission is a separate area of work. I'm envisioning to do that in month 2, and they're obviously closely related. So knowing one's purpose better assists one in getting in touch with one's mission better and better. However, they're not the same. So I think it's best to tackle them separately and to bridge them together. So in this one, we're focusing on purpose and the zone of genius as the approximation of purpose, or just another way to say purpose. So let's jump right into zone of genius. Now we got to the actual zone of genius finally. So there are certain things that we do. So imagine that you do certain things in life. You have different talents, right? And some of those abilities or skills or things that you will do, you'll do good. Some of them you'll do great. Some of them you'll be okay at, as compared to other people. Okay, it's not about. Right now we're saying that among all people, there are certain people that do certain things to a different degree of success or performance or achievement. Just naturally. If we all had no competences or skills or education, then, and we would, you know, select like who does what, then naturally some people will do certain things, some other people will do other things. I'm saying obvious things. I mean, that was clear in kindergarten, I think. So we're back to basics, I guess. And then there are some things that we're genius at. Everybody. So when people say, you know, somebody is a genius, I usually try to tell them that that's not exactly how it works. Everybody is a genius. It's just that certain people have taken their mastery to such a level that that genius is shining through. Okay, important. Now, okay, it's the first time I'm showing this actually, and this is like a touching moment for me, because this is my story. This is the way my zone of genius has been unfolding for me, and I'll walk you through. So this is a timeline. starting with 2019, when I had what I consider some sort of initiation into Zone of Genius, and all the way to today. Okay, so it started by this initiation, and I'll tell you a short story. So it's kind of a, it kind of had fancy surroundings, that episode. So I went to I was living in San Francisco, and I went to Stanford, to the campus of Stanford. There was a concert, a classical music concert. How nice. A classical music concert, a symphonic orchestra. And so I went there, and then I was sitting there and I was listening to that amazing music, and my system was just kind of ecstatic. And so I all of a sudden caught myself thinking, trying to understand. I was basically mulling over questions like, why do humans play music? What is music? When did we first start playing music? When did we first realize that we could produce sounds with different things that we find around? So I was thinking about all these kind of things. And then I had this insight. Wow, I never realized that I'm really interested in understanding things. Like, I could do this all day long. If you put me to understand things, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. So I had this understanding that I like to understand. Okay, just one word. And I was like, wow, this is the biggest insight of my life. This is amazing. And little did I know that it would unpack in the coming years a lot. And every time it would unpack, I would get more precision. It would still resonate with me as much, but the precision would be higher, more and more precision, as in, well, let me walk you through those. So at some point then I understood that it was not only understanding, it was also about exploring. It was about venturing into different domains, and it was about sharing. It was about sharing what I understood and where I ventured. Then next year, I specified it even further. I understood that it's not about, so I specified the words. So I understood that it's not so much exploration, it's the synthesizing, it's the bringing the knowledge kind of together, of seeing the big picture of it. And I also understood it's about deep stuff. I'm interested in, so to say, deep stuff. Then the next one was, okay, it's not just understanding, it's essentializing, meaning finding the essentials, the first principles, the essence of things, and so on and so forth. So it continued, right? Then the next one was when I put it into 3 words. I figured out, I had this experience where I understood that it was about activating dormant potential for me, activating dormant potential in people, in organizations, in products, in systems, in anything, in society. So as long as I get to activate dormant potential, and it's required by the whoever or whatever I'm working with, I'm having the time of my life. So just 3 words: verb, something that goes from point A to point B, and what I'm working with, activating dormant potential. Then it went further, and it just keeps unraveling since then. Then I went into archetypes, like a visionary innovator. I understood that I resonate a lot with that. I have that in me, that potential to grow into that, to develop as that in me, archetypes. Then I went into integrated archetypes. So I received maybe like 7 archetypes that I resonated with each one of them. And so all together, they became an integrated archetype that I really resonated with. And so it gave me a lot of direction. Okay, this is where I'm going. This is what my mastery path is all about. And then the latest one is my journey into lineages, and I won't speak about that, but that's been my journey. And so I started to work on this Zone of Genius approach, and I started to reverse engineer it. I started to ask myself, okay, could I create some kind of a test, some kind of a system where people could understand these things about themselves that resonate with them, not just, whatever words that somebody tells you, but something that really is deep and resonates. Could I do that and assist individuals and maybe even organizations and teams with this? And this is what we're doing right now. So we're going for a Zone of Genius level 1, level of precision, which is something similar to essentialize, integrate, innovate, and guide through vision around deep stuff right there in the middle. So we're going there already. So we're not doing previous ones. I feel that I can assist getting there to start with, because there are other levels as well. So, and we're going into the articulation part, which is to actually come up with one paragraph or one sentence, just like the one I showed you before, for each one of you, if you guys are ready. And how are we going to do that? Well, as I said, there are certain talents or abilities where genius is at. And so it's very simple, actually, what we're going to be doing. We're going to identify our top 1 talent, top 2 talent, and top 3 talents as an approximation at our purpose and at our zone of genius. And the secret sauce in all of this is a taxonomy of talents, because if you are to identify your top talents, then you need to look at options. You need to see, okay, what am I choosing from, right? And it has to be done in such a way that it's a holistic map of talents, that we're not only looking at some talents, but we don't even know if we're missing out on some others. So this is the secret sauce behind this work, a taxonomy of talents, based on built on top of the Enneagram personality test, if some of you are familiar with that. And so we're going to be doing this zone of genius discovery test right now. And I ask you please to follow this link, tinyurl.com, on your phone or on your computer. Some construction going on upstairs. Not sure if you guys can hear that. So I'm going to open it in my browser as well. Actually, it's already open here. No, it's not. So please open it on your devices, and I'll guide you through the process. Yes, that's a smart idea. I'm going to share the link in the chat. tinyurl.com/integral talent. There you go. Yes, and thank you, Sergey, for sharing it in the chat as well. So please open that list. Don't go through it yet. The task is very simple. So this is a list of 81 talents. Okay, they're built in such a way that they're applicable to the modern workplace. They're something that we've all engaged in at some point in our life, most likely. And so please, the first task is to read them one by one and to select the 10 talents that resonate with you the most. Okay, before you go ahead and do that, let me give just one hint at how to do that. So the important thing is to not overthink it or rationalize it, and rather feel it. So as you read those talents, which one feels most exciting to you? Which ones feel exciting to do? That's the only prompt that I'm going to give you. And please go ahead and select 10 out of 81 as this first step. What you can do is put a number, just put a number, 1, 8, 9, and we are aiming at 10. We're going to take about 5 to 7 minutes for doing this. Okay, we got 4 minutes in, maybe a minute or two. If somebody has finished, please let me know in the chat so that I get a feel for how much time more we need, okay? If you got more than 10, then please select the 10 that resonate the most. So we'll give some people are already finishing, so we'll probably take a minute or two more. Okay, is there anyone that needs more time? Looks like. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by classify, Jay. Gotcha. Shorten the list. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, let's take a couple more minutes. So we're a big group, relatively. So if you feel like you still need quite a bit of time, try to go a little faster. And the idea is just to feel into each one of them in terms of excitement. Would you be excited in terms of doing that? And how much? What's your what's your actual feeling as you read it? Is that exciting, or is that boring, or is that meh? So let's just have 10, and we'll take another 30 seconds to finalize, and then we'll move on. And if you haven't finished, you'll have a chance to do it obviously on your own, at your own leisure. Okay, sounds like nobody is voicing that they haven't finished. So the next step is to pick 3 out of those 10. Same procedure. So just read through those 10 that you've identified and pick the 3 that jump out the most at you. And we're going for the top 3 talents. And the way we're figuring them out is not by overthinking them. Oh, do I really like that? No, it's by, would I be excited to do that at a dream job? So pick your top three. I know it sometimes can be a little difficult because many of them feel good. Or what feels especially good? Okay. Do you guys need a minute more? Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Okay. Sounds like we're getting to the end of this part. Okay. 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 Awesome. Okay. If you haven't finished, just take 10 seconds to make a call. And we're going back into the next steps. So now that you've identified the top three, please put it into one paragraph and into one sentence. So the one paragraph would be just copy paste those phrases, and basically it will look something like my zone of genius is when I or is to do this, this, and that. That would be the one paragraph. And one sentence would be I'm in my zone of genius when I whatever it is, maintain order, craft visions, and whatever else there is. So just please go ahead and do that so that we have the actual text. Amazing. So we got to our first result, which is an approximation of your zone of genius put into words. And obviously, this is not, set in stone. This is not any kind of final destination. This is an approximation. This is a first step. However, in my practice and in the experience of over 200 people that have taken this with me, it's a pretty good approximation of what one actually enjoys doing the most and what one really feels excited at doing. And so, as the next step, think about this question. In terms of how you apply these talents and how you do this as you go about your life, is there a typical sequence? Maybe when you're on your own, maybe when you were in school, maybe at your job, maybe with friends, maybe with family. Is there a typical sequence in which you engage those three? Do you do one of them first, then something second, something third, or there isn't? A lot of times there is. So just feel into that. And as you do, rearrange those three talents the way you had it in your wherever you wrote them on paper or digital paper. So rearrange them in that sequence, please. Okay. So we've gotten to the end of the part one, which is the articulation of the zone of genius. I feel it's a major accomplishment because it opens a lot of different doors. However, right now it's words, it's sentences that you took from somewhere, from some web page that somebody created, and it's very normal for the mind to ask questions, to kind of question it a little bit, like, is that really it? Maybe I missed something. I want to do it again to be more sure. Or guys, there is some hammering upstairs. I apologize for that. I have no control over it. I tried to control it already, but I couldn't. It didn't work. So if you hear it, I apologize. So back to where we were. Yeah, so it's a text. It's a piece of text that you got through a test. You probably have an idea that, okay, this is something that it reflects what I actually like to do. And a lot of times it's actually even beyond that. It's actually really reflective. And so in order to bring it from the conceptual mind, from just thinking and all these thoughts and all these doubts that is normal to sometimes have, let's try to bring it into our hearts, into the actual truth of it, into the feeling. And so we're moving on to part two, the activation of the zone of genius, I call it. And the activation really consists of the important thing here is that words are approximations of truth. We're approximating, we're kind of like getting a feel of it. We're approximating. However, the feelings that we feel when we actually do those things, when we engage in those talents, those are true. Those are real. Like we feel them or we don't. There's no other way around it. So the feelings is the truth, and the words are the approximation to that truth. Okay. And so the words will never reach that full truth of the actual feeling. They will just approximate and they will evolve. So the way you wrote it down now will evolve most likely, because you'll be, getting deeper into that rabbit hole of what exactly is it? What is the more precise version that is really resonant with me? And so we're going to be going into a short exercise, maybe 10 minutes or so. Please have your written down zone of genius in front of you. You could have it as one sentence, as one paragraph, or both. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for two things. We're going to be going for an episode or a scene when you actually applied that talent, when you showed up exactly like that, showed up by being in that zone of genius of yours within that talent. And we're going for the feeling that you felt. So don't worry, you don't have to engage your brain to remember an episode or to feel what you felt. I'll guide you through the process. So it's a meditative guided process. We'll take about 10 minutes for it. And so please get comfortable where you're sitting. Have your piece of paper or your digital screen where you have your talents written down, and I'll guide you through the process in a second. So have it in front of you, please, because you'll be kind of going inwards, but also you'll need to look at the talent as we work one talent by talent. Okay, so please get ready, get comfortable, and I invite you to close down your eyes. It's a meditative experience, about 10 minutes or so. So close down your eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. Again, conscious breaths. So being conscious of the breath from the beginning to end. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose as well. Going deeper, dropping into presence. Feeling that heart space, taking another deep breath in. Deeper, 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 deeper. Take it all in and breathe out. And as you breathe out, relax, melt into your chair while maintaining posture. Alert and relaxed. Beautiful. So we'll go into each talent one by one and I'll guide you. Don't worry, you don't have to do anything but feeling. So I invite you to, when you're ready, gently open your eyes and look at the first talent. So just read that talent. Just read it once or twice. Okay, now I invite you to, again, close down your eyes, drop back into presence where you just were, and ask yourself, what is that for me? When did I show up truly like that? yeah, these words are just words, but what is it for me? What is that exact flavor? And just allow your subconscious, your system to reveal that episode when you showed up like that. There is no need to do anything, no need to push any buttons or try anything. The episode will just come up. Just allow it and trust the first thing that comes up. Your mind may say something like, oh, it can't be that. Probably something else. I gotta think harder or try harder. But trust that first thing. Trust that first thing that comes up. It just bubbles up a lot of times immediately. And so as you have that episode and you have it vivid in front of you, just pay attention to your body, to what you're feeling right now at this moment, and notice that feeling that is already there. You don't need to generate it in any sort of way. It's already there. Just pay attention to that sensation in the body that you're feeling right now. And where is it in the body? Locate it in the body. Maybe it's in your chest, heart space, maybe it's in your solar plexus, maybe it's in your belly or elsewhere. So just allow that feeling to grow. You don't need to do anything, just stay with it, pay attention to it, and it's already growing as you breathe consciously. And just allow yourself to bathe in it. Chances are it's a pleasant feeling. Just allow yourself to allow it to intensify, allow it to grow like a fire, take you over. You can even let it overflow. And as you're feeling that feeling, ask yourself, what is that feeling? How would I put a word to it? How would I describe it? What is that? How does it feel? And as the words bubble up and you come up with a description for that feeling, now write down that episode and that feeling. So just a quick pointer to yourself so that you can come back and not forget this episode that you remembered. Just write it down on paper, a pointer to yourself, and the word or two or three of how this feeling feels when you're engaged in that talent. No need to write a whole poem. You can just have a quick pointer to the episode, quick pointer to the feeling, and then we'll go back into the second talent. So just finalizing that. And when you're ready, first let's drop into presence once again. So sit in your chair firmly and take a few deep breaths again through the nose. Dropping into presence using the technique that you use. Breathing in alertness, energy, and breathing out relaxation. And now please gently open your eyes and look at the second talent. So in the same fashion, just like the last time, you read through it 1 or 2 times, and then bring yourself back into presence, sit upright, close down your eyes, and we'll do the same exercise again. Just allow a memory, an episode when you showed up like that, maybe at work, maybe in school, maybe as an entrepreneurial child. Where did you really show up like that? What is that talent for you? What does it mean for you? Just allow that memory, that episode to bubble up. We're looking for a particular scene, for a particular episode, maybe even a visual. And trust the first thing that comes. And as that episode bubble up and you trust that this is the right thing that your subconscious is showing you, pay attention to your sensations in the body. And notice that feeling and locate it in the body. Maybe in your head, maybe in your solar plexus, maybe in your neck, maybe in your chest, maybe in your root. Just allow that feeling to grow like a campfire. And just allow it to fully express itself. This is you being you. Soak it in, bathe in it, enjoy it. Embrace it. And as that feeling is growing, ask yourself, what does it feel like? What is this sensation? What is this feeling? How could you describe it? Also trust the first thing that comes up, second thing, third thing. And at this point, write those down. Go back to your paper, your digital paper, and write those down. Just a pointer for yourself for the episode. This is for you, just for you to remember. Be able to come back to it. And the feeling, the description of the feeling. 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. Beautiful. So finalizing that. And as you do, come back to the upright posture, and let's take another couple of breaths together. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And another one, deep breath in and deep breath out. Beautiful. Now go back to your paper and look at the third talent and read it a time or 2, just like we did before. So now go for the third talent. And after you've done it, come back to your meditative state. Close down your eyes. It's important to close down the eyes. so that we can focus on those inner sensations and insights. And ask yourself, what is that for me? What is that doing that mean for me beyond just the words? When did I do it? When did I show up so much that I even surprised myself and it felt good? When was that? Just trust the first thing that comes up. Any age, professional or not. Beautiful. And now bring your attention into your body and pay attention to that sensation you're already feeling. Remember, there is nothing to do artificially. You're already feeling it. It's already there. Just pay attention to it. Stay with it. Allow it to grow. In your inner space and in your body. Enjoy it. It's safe to enjoy. It's safe to let it grow. It's safe to let it overflow. And now ask yourself, what is that? What is that feeling? It's a feeling of. Allow the words to be revealed and write them down. Write them down on paper. Just like last time, a pointer and the description of the feeling. So take 30 seconds or so for that. Beautiful. Okay, and we're going into the last episode of this part. We're going to bring it all together now. So close down your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths again. Those conscious breaths into the heart space. Okay, and now read all the 3 talents at once in that sequence, how you wrote them down. So read them together and go back to the meditative state. Close down your eyes. Go back to conscious breathing into the heart space. And now ask yourself, your subconscious, to reveal the episode, the scene, the movie scene when you were showing up in your splendor of your zone of genius. Applying all those 3 talents, showing up like that. Just allow that episode to bubble up to the surface of your consciousness. Trust the first thing that comes. And get in touch with the feeling that you felt back then and that you're feeling right now through time and space. That must feel good. So just bathe yourself in this feeling. Continue to stay with it. Just give it a little bit more time. Enjoy it. This is you being you, you showing up in your true nature, in your essence. Allow it to grow, allow it to emanate, spread from that place where you felt it in the first place. And now ask yourself, what is a qualifier? What is a descriptor for this feeling? What is this feeling like? And as the words come up, take a moment to write those things down. Maybe it was the same episode as before, maybe not. Describe that feeling for yourself, a pointer to that feeling, and a word or two or three. And we're finalizing this exercise, this second part of the activation of our zone of genius. Welcome back, everybody who never left and yet. Congratulations. So that it's a big group, so I have to trust that we got where we wanted to get and where everybody was ready to get. And I do. I have full faith in it. And congratulations on activating your zone of genius. It's kind of an activation, isn't it? And getting in touch with the feelings, with the episodes, with the scenes, and bringing it from just, you know, some sentences that you have on paper to actual sensations, to actual episodes that are meaningful, that mean something to you, and to those sensations that usually are very high frequency sensations like joy and bliss and exhilaration and overflow ones. That doesn't exist, right? Overflowing sensation. And this is what usually being in our zone of genius feels like, right? So hopefully now what I've been talking about is coming together, that we're not just, you know, doing a random test for the sake of doing yet another test. No, we're getting in touch with something very deep within ourselves that has always been there. We're not just inventing anything or adding a gimmick. We're coming back to what's already been there all along. And so now we're moving on to part 3, which is the application. And how are we doing on time? Well, we got 5 minutes to an hour and a half, but we started quite late this time, maybe 6-7 minutes late. So I'll take the liberty to go on for another, yeah, like 10-15 minutes, 15 minutes. And this is the juiciest part from one point of view. So hope you can keep on going with us. If not, feel free to jump off. We're free beings. So part 3, application. Ooh, okay. So the key, I want to share a key here. And the key is that essentially, personalization of AI is very, there's a lot of hype around that right now. And if you think about it, what is personalization? What does it mean to personalize something for someone? Well, it simply means that we need to know something about someone in order to personalize something for them, obviously. And so self-understanding is really a very potent piece of information that we can use to personalize our interactions with AI. And so what we've been doing here with Zone of Genius is we've been getting in touch with deep self-understanding, deep, so deep that when I ask AI, hey, AI, ChatGPT or whatever, what information about me would be most useful to you to personalize our relationship, our interaction? and I gave it a lot of options, all kinds of testing systems and so on. And guess what it says? Consistently. I've tried this many times and I get the same result. And when I say zone of genius, I explain what I mean by zone of genius. I explain the methodology, what exactly we're doing here, right? And so a zone of genius comes up first at all times. I've tried this maybe several times. So what we're saying is that we're going to be using with AI. We're going to be working with AI right now in this remaining part to aim at three things. One is the mastery of our zone of genius. Second is creativity. So how to increase creativity, creative output, authenticity. And three, monetization. How to monetize zone of genius, this deeper self-understanding. And so let's get actually in a different sequence. First creativity, then mastery, then monetization. So we're going to be doing something really cool here. And I want to get someone to volunteer to share their zone of genius and to use AI to look at creativity. Please write in chat just one or plus or something so that we go with somebody's zone of genius as opposed to just randomly. Anyone would like to volunteer, be the guinea pig in a good way? Okay, so we got two. Anyone else? Okay, we got two. Okay, cool. That's fine. So Jashid, you were one, and Tamiris, hope I pronounce your name again correctly. You were number two. So we're gonna randomly choose one of you. 1, 2, 2, go. 1. So Jashid, it's gonna be you. I'm getting a little lost here. Okay. Yes. So please, okay, so you don't actually have to do anything. Please, please paste your zone of genius into the chat, not just the numbers, but the actual text. Would you please do it for me? Yeah. And there is one prompt that we're going to be using. And then just hold on with me as I open ChatGPT. And I'm just going to use one prompt. Usually I ask it to suggest top 3 matching, details, but this time we'll just do one for the sake of time. This is such a fun part, guys. I love this. So essentially what we're saying is that we'll ask AI to take the zone of genius of Jashid and to suggest a whole bunch of recommendations, hyper-personalized recommendations for his, by just knowing his zone of genius, nothing else. Okay, this is a little crazy. This is, I feel like I'm Harry Houdini or someone that wants to pull off a trick, but there is no guarantee, and the public is like, is this gonna work? In my mind. Okay, I need to go to the chat now and copy paste. Jashid, I need your, yeah, you're working on it. Cool, cool, cool. Take your time. Can also help you out. And 29. Okay. Okay, these are the three, right? Gotcha. Thank you for sharing this with us. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. Again, I got this prompt here. And by the way, look at what we'll be looking at. We're going to be getting recommendations on professional life and career, lifestyle and living, relationship and social dynamics, etc., etc. There's a bunch of stuff. So I'm just clicking go here, and we're going to get a table where AI is recommending things for you. So I would love you to read it, not out loud, but like go and read that table and just share whatever comes up for you with us. So if you know something doesn't resonate at all, you can say it or just move on to the next thing. If something resonates, you can like comment on it. If something blows your mind, comment on it. So it's taking a few seconds to come up with that. It's laying out the options for you. There you go. Okay. So you got the task, right? Can you please unmute yourself and comment on this as you read through it?
Copy. Okay. So the task is here.
The task is to read through this information, these recommendations that AI gave for you by just knowing your zone of genius. And usually they're very spot on, at least many of them. But we don't know, right?
Right.
Maybe not. So the task is for you to read it, not out loud, but just read it and then comment on it. So if something jumps out at you as very spot on, let us know. If something is completely off, just skip to the next one or let us know if you want.
Yeah.
What about the matching archetype, the authentic artist? Sounds cool.
Yes, that's correct. That's right on. Specific. Right on. 2, 3 startups.
Yeah, you can just tell us like whatever's running through your mind as you read this.
Okay. Arts initiative supporting independent artists. Authentic voices. Wow, that's spot on. I was actually having an idea about that. 4 highly specific job roles. Artistic director at an independent theater company. Hmm. Okay. I never thought of that. 5, workplace culture fit, creative, open-minded, culture, volume, authenticity. Let me see. This. Okay. Dream job titles, artistic director. Okay. Courses to take, emotional intelligence, and artistic expression. That's wow. Okay. Learning techniques. Okay. Learning to practice. Hmm. Knowledge Networks, International Society for the Performing Arts, ISPA. Tough. Okay. 10, investment opportunities, independent film or theater production. Okay. 11, personal monetization models, monetizing through live performances and audience engagement. That's definitely spot on as far as the monetization with live performance. That hits home with me,
Mhm.
lifestyle, living aspect, top one matching thing. Top one, okay, top one matching. One, city living, Portland, Oregon. Okay. clothing style, bohemian, artsy, okay, cuisine, all right. Some farm to table cuisine. Yeah, oh, I love that. Some organic food. All right. Home decor style, bohemian artistic decor. I like that. I like that. Daily routines, daily creative practice and reflection. Travel destinations, Florence, Italy. I love that place. Um, Self-care practices, expressive arts therapy, workspace. Wow. Okay, workspace design, creative studio space with inspiring art. Oh, wow. Nature retreats, woodland cabin retreats for artistic inspiration. Tough, tough for the inspiration. Okay. Relationships and social dynamic. Okay. Number one, ideal collaborators, authentic artists who embrace emotional expression. Yes. Two, ideal relationships dynamics, emotionally supportive and authentic relationships, 100%. Three, conflict resolution styles, empathetic communication, and emotional openness. Yes. Mm. Four, networking tips, connect authentic, authentically by sharing artistic passions. Ah, wow, that's gems. Okay. It's a nugget. Okay. One, okay, creative expression. One, type of arts they'll enjoy the most. Emotionally expressive performance art, 100%. That's top. Artistic hobbies, indie theater, acting. Wow, never thought of that one, but yeah, that's very interesting. Okay. Um, Writing themes, authentic narrative of emotional depth. Okay. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Love storytelling. Stuff with storytelling, with a nice story, a strong story that's relatable. Um, Design projects, designing emotionally evocative stage sets. Okay. Board game strategies, Dixit. Hmm. Unconventional adventures, immerse theater participation, event recommendations, attend French arts festivals. Nice. Okay. Health and wellness. Okay. Kind of sports, contemporary dance. Oh, okay. Never. Okay. All right. Dance. Wow. I'm sure that'll bring a lot of open the artistry up. Okay. Meditation technique that will bring best results. Mindfulness meditation on emotional awareness. Ah, okay. Three, customized fitness plans, dance based fitness routines, mm. Energy healing modalities, Reiki. Wow. Okay. Therapy or coaching styles, creative arts therapy. Mm. Mm. Spirituality and personal growth, realized spiritual teachers. Ah, Sifu, Oye, Julia Cameron. That's crazy. I have her book, The Artist's Way. Wow, that's crazy. That's what got me on this path to journaling, doing morning pages every day. Wow, that's spot on. Even artist dates. She talks about artist dates. That's spot on. Sacred practices, artistic self-expression rituals. Wow, book to read, The Artist's Way, yes, by Julian Cameron. Oh my God, that's what got me on this awakening, my awareness to every day since I was 18, just doing that journaling every day. Yeah, Julian Cameron. Wow, spiritual mentor. Wow, right there. Yeah. Okay, life mission, visualization, inspiring others through authentic artistic performances. Yes, yes. Wow. Wow. That's spot on. time capsule ideas, record a heartfelt performance to revisit later. Memoir concepts, chronicle of staying true to oneself in the performing arts. Wow, that's spot on because performances nowadays needs improvement. I've been thinking about that. Impact and contribution. Impact and contribution. Volunteer opportunities. Volunteer as a performing arts teacher for youth. Wow. Movement participation, arts accessibility, advocacy. Advocacy causes, artistic freedom, and authentic expression advocacy. Wow. Technology and innovation, AI tools for productivity, using AI like ChatGPT for creative brainstorming. Song concepts. That's powerful. That's nice. Gadget recommendations, portable high quality audio recorder, tech communities, digital art and tech forums like Creative Application Network, entertainment and media aspect. Okay. Genre for podcasts, YouTube videos, performing art, and storytelling. Wow. Music bands, Bon Iver. If I pronounce his name correctly? Bon Iver. Wow. Oh man, these recommendations. Oh yeah. Oh wow. For sure. Like Laura said, gratitude immensely on the highest degree. Wow. To the highest nature, for sure. That's a little scary. Julia Cameron, everything. That's great. Thank
Wow,
you.
thank you so much for sharing with us, for being open, and the randomizer did a great job of selecting you. I feel like it was very inspirational for all of us. Thank you so much for sharing. Wow, and my mind is every time is blown by all the synchronicities and how things fall into place. And as AI is getting better and better, I'm using like the best model that I know of, ChatGPT o1 preview, and so it every time it gets better. Like whoa, I'm blown away. Wow, beautiful. So this is what's possible. And you guys can run this prompt as well. Some of you I saw already did. So you can do it at your leisure and, maybe take one of those things or two of those things and put them into action if you want. And just somebody was saying that provided a sense of direction. Yeah, for sure. I feel like this is so helpful with the sense of direction. So we don't have time to go into the mastery and I'll just I think mastery I'll share as part of the home fun. It's also just one prompt that may blow your minds as well. It's amazing stuff. I'm sharing like the best stuff basically that I've created. That's why I ran out of time in these sessions, because I just want to share with you guys the best stuff that has blown my mind, that I've worked on for years, and that I do separate sessions for this. This could be a whole program, obviously, but we're packing everything into one session. And the more I am in my zone of genius, the more mastery I get, the more simplicity I can transmit and clarity through these sessions. And so, but
I'm on a call.
Me too. I do want to speak about monetization just a little bit. If you guys want to hop off, please do. So the point, and I'll probably take 3 minutes to go through the remainder of this, and then we'll do a little celebration dance and then Q&A. So if you want to stay longer, please be my guest. I'd love that. So as we articulate our zone of genius, we bring awareness to it. We bring awareness into our talents, and so we can't unsee it really. Like as we engage with these talents, and we do engage them all the time, it's so much us that it's very hard to repress it. It's very hard not to show up like that. And so then we're able to communicate it to others. So we can say things like, oh, you're inviting me to a project? Well, this is what I know I can do for you, because I do this really well. And as I do it, I get even better, and like, whoa. So we can communicate it to all kinds of opportunities that come our way. And so in my case, for example, my zone of genius translates when we ground it and like really ask ourselves, what are the grounded things that I can put into like a job board or something and find stuff. Then it's mentorship, it's strategic consulting, and it's strategic product design. My zone of genius translates to that. And so as I understand these things, then I can apply it in all kinds of ways of applying my zone of genius, professionally and otherwise. So dream job, getting a dream job, a job where we design our job description to reflect our zone of genius, is one immediate path. And I actually provide entire sessions on this with people. I work one-on-one with people to get to a place where we get like very concrete on that. Then you can also go into collaborations, gigs, and consulting. As the more you know what is it that you're masterful at, as opposed to other people, and you'll grow in that the fastest. So collaboration, gigs, and consulting, plugging into projects by doing exactly what you're best at. Then one-on-one individual work, workshops, one-to groups, and tech products. These are the evolutions of our zone of genius. And this is where we're getting into with the next session. It's going to be fire. We'll see. Okay, bring the expectations down. We'll see. Maybe it will be good. Maybe so. We'll see. But you know, guys. So I'm just playing. So this is the exciting stuff that Zone of Genius translates to. And the dream job blueprint, for example, I'm going to just share the high-level dream job blueprint with you. So the Zone of Genius definition, which we did today, translates into roles. AI is amazing at doing that. Then if we add our resume and capture the interests, professional and personal interests, then we can work with AI to match it to niches of startups, of companies. And then we go to concrete companies. It's important to go beyond just the household names, you know, whatever, Netflix and Google and Facebook. So AI needs to know that, okay, please go to companies that are more hidden, that I wouldn't find otherwise. And then you get a table essentially where you got company, role, and why this company is for you, and that role you would play well, and why that company would need that role. How cool is that? Then you go into virtual coffee chats, which is the best way to find a job, as they taught us at MIT and as they teach at all the top MBA schools, virtual coffee chats, where you basically ping a peer or hiring manager or even a founder, depending on your seniority level in your career, and you tell them, you basically get a chat with them. And since it's such a match, the energy in those conversations is through the roof. And I've gotten multiple job offers within days of reaching out like that in my own experience. So it definitely works really well. So with this information, you just unlocked new upgrades. So I got a whole like game/shop of things. I can definitely take people deeper in their zone of genius, further to level 2, 3, 4, 5, and take people through the dream job process. So reach out if you're interested in getting deeper. So what we covered today, we demystified purpose and mission, and you can hold me accountable on whether I delivered or not. We demystified purpose and mission. We located ourselves on the spectrum of uniqueness development. We defined the practical value of purpose and mission. We understood how Zone of Genius is a way to approximate purpose. We got a look and feel for a Zone of Genius. We articulated our zones of genius. Then we remembered when is it that we were in our zone of genius and how it felt. And then we dove into mastery. No, we didn't dive into mastery yet. We dove into creativity and authenticity with that table. Mastery, I'm going to be sharing after this call. And monetization, we covered to an extent, yes. And in the next session, we'll go deeper into that. So in the next training, we'll leverage our zone of genius to create an aligned product or service. We'll get a step-by-step blueprint to building a tech startup. That's ambitious. And we'll set foundations for one. And this is the end of training 3. Thank you so much for listening, for being here. And let's celebrate as we do. I got this AI created picture. Don't look into the details because some of them are strange, but the vibe of this picture, isn't it cool? Would you like to join a party like that? Okay. You can dance. You can move in your chair. You can just stay stiff. Up to you. I'm joking. I got another song for us. Yeah, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you for co-creating this together. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The floor is open for um, shares, questions, whatever.
It gets better as we continue to move along. This was awesome. This class here. I just can't wait till we get further along. If it gets like this, great work. Great work. So much gratitude to you, Sasha. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Indeed. Indeed.
That AI prompt was maybe the best AI prompt I've ever seen in my life. That is very clearly your zone of genius. And like what it put out from me, I was just so blown away. So thank you.
Thank you, T. Thank you.
I would
Thank
like
you
to
so much.
say,
Yes, please go for it.
oh, thank you. It was just as a person who is, like you say, can do a lot of stuff and who's really good at a whole lot of things. But then when we went into the meditations to see, like how it makes you feel when you're doing those things and really going for what excites me and what I'm passionate about. And it just totally lends to my genius and just explaining exactly what that is and just understanding that was just genius. Like it was just really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy for you. Thank you, Renette.
I know you wanted to go, Karimi. Okay. I just want to share this because I feel like we can all take from this assumption, but it like hit me so hard that I couldn't even continue. And in one of the prompts when he was like, what does that feel like, right? I I went into a spiritual world, and in the spiritual world, it was one of the prompts that said that I love to learn and take so much wisdom in and information in. And he showed me like an obese person consuming and consuming and consuming information around the thing I'm passionate about. And it was actually sad for me. I felt sad because I saw myself as a spiritual, obese, information hoarder kind of energy. And then it said, you need to go on a diet. You need to go on a diet and begin to actually just share the knowledge and the information that you have gathered. Because it's like, I'm on to the next learning, on to the next thing, but I'm not actually giving what I'm intaking. And the imbalance of that is causing other effects. And it like took me after that one. But thank you so much for that.
Wow, well, that sounds like a major revelation. Wow, congrats on having such a deep experience. And it's so it's amazing that you shared this, and I guess you're I guess you're doing that already. Wow, wow. Thank you. So deep and wow, wow.
And can I
Wow.
share that that resonated with me so much? Like when you said that, because that image came up for me too. And what the tool that you gave us to go through, what it did for me was it gave me clarity on who I would like to work with and what am I more passionate about. Because like I say, that image of all this information, me holding on to it, the very same image came up for me too. But by the time we were done, it was like, okay, I can give this stuff away for free because that's not really what my aim is. but this right here are the people that I want to work with. So this other information, that's just like the stuff that I'm just going to give away because I don't, that's not really, those are my gifts to the world. And then my work to the world is working with those individuals who's ready for me, but the other pieces that I have that I'm just holding on to, I can just give away because I don't need it anymore. Though that's not really what I'm doing. So thank you for sharing that because it just, I got the same image.
Wow, thank you both for sharing that. And I was about to share before both of you. I wanted to share that I've done this work with Sasha for a long time. For those that don't know, Sasha and I are partners in Shine. And so I've done this work for years, like his timeline. I'm like somewhere there jumping and testing on and alpha testing all of this and beta testing all of this. And I want to say that today's meditation gave me a very sacred balance because before, like both of you, I had experienced in the meditation like an overload in one of my aspects. One of my aspects is providing emotional support. And in many of those previous meditations, I'd seen myself like overly taking space in that provision of support and not balancing that out. And today I was able to sense my entire genius in a balanced and a much more distributed way. And that feels like I wanted to bring this perspective as well, that zone of genius is composed by different aspects of us. And so if we overfeed one aspect of us, we will jump, like in anything in life, right? We will get out of balance, even in our zone of genius, right? If Sasha just gets to understand, he overloads himself. And if he doesn't synthesize and share, it's the same. He goes obese, right? Like something happens to him. And so I feel we can all resonate with bringing that balance in our zone of genius. And I feel very grateful that we're aware of this as well, because this awareness to balance ourselves out and not overstimulate one aspect of us is rather important, even if it's a very beautiful aspect of us, right? We must keep the balance. And so thank you for sharing this because it really resonates with me and my previous experiences with this. So thank you. Yeah, thank you. Mm.
Hi. I just want to say thank you so much, Sasha, for everything that you are doing. It's like it's just so beautiful to see you sharing all your knowledge and just being like honoring your son of genius. It's just so beautiful to see you sharing this, and I'm so, so grateful to be here and for all the information that you are openly and just sharing with us. It's a gift for us. So thank you so much. And today in the meditation for me, it was amazing because yesterday I had my first event, and today with the Son of Genius and going in this meditation, it was just a confirmation that I'm like honoring my Son of Genius and that I in the right path. So it was just so beautiful. So thank you so much. I'm really thankful for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is deep work, and it's beautiful how it synchronizes with other events in our life, and it's a beautiful thing to watch for all of us.
Sasha, I also just want to thank you a lot for this session. And on the previous session, you shared a lot of wisdom from other masters, but in this specific field about uniqueness and how we can find it, how to make it possible for everyone using AI and your methods. I think you are one of the few experts in the world globally right now who is pioneering this sphere. Is it true? Like, do you know others? Because I know like that you're probably on top of this innovation, and thanks for sharing it with us. And yeah, it should be a global movement. Probably more and more people will search for things like that. And new technologies and this remote world allows us to find so many options that were not available for our parents, maybe generations, or even 5 years ago. Thank you very much.
Wow, Serежа, thank you so much. Спасибо, дорогой. Representing the Russian culture here, the only one outside of me. Wow, that was a lot. Yeah, I take that in, and it is okay. So in full honesty, it is true. I actually haven't seen any teaching of this quality outside of mine. The depth, some people have the depth, but not the entire construct and the practicality and this the method and the methodology and the taxonomy of talents and so on. So I guess it could be true that what you said um, in the sense that this is one of the deepest teachings on this that I'm aware of. In fact, I'm not aware of any well, you get the point. And one thing that I want to share in this is that it's been such a journey, guys. It's been such a journey. This is my signature product and offering, Zone of Genius, actually. This mystery school also is, but the Zone of Genius specifically. And actually, now that I'm delivering this today, all of a sudden the space and life is bringing so many opportunities around this, just around so today I'm doing this. Yesterday I gave one. Later today I'm giving another one. Tomorrow night I'm giving one. I'm meeting someone working on Zone of Genius tomorrow, and it just all clicked together to this event. So interesting. That's one thing that I wanted to share. And another one is that as I was going into this whole line of work, what I didn't realize was that how deep it goes, how deep this rabbit hole goes. I thought that I would create, an Enneagram test and a test based on Enneagram, and then it's already like a super discovery. And yes, it was already a great quality work. But what I didn't realize that it would take me a lot of development, a lot of growth to get to a point where this actually starts to really be super valuable to people because it just goes very deep. Like at first I thought, well, yeah, like purpose and mission, what's the fuss? I'll just quickly understand what it is, and then I'll figure mine out, and then that's what's the fuss. But what it turned out to be is that purpose and mission go into the very, very, very deeper parts of our awakening and growth and development. Like it really touches very deep points. So what I understood is that to actually understand how these things work, one needs to embody that to a quite high extent. And it took me 5-6 years to get to a point to where now I can, speak about these things intelligently. So that's why I feel there is so much confusion in the world about this, because it actually takes a lot of evolution, personal evolution, to really be able to gain clarity on these things. Enough so to be able to share and intelligently and be able to really demystify these things. And it's a never-ending journey, right? There will be more and more and more depth and discoveries and practical applications. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. If anyone else wants to share, please go. If not, yeah, thank you so much for being here. This was such a blast, and looking forward to the next one in a week. Actually, we're going to be doing it on Sunday. I cannot do Saturday, unfortunately, so I'll announce that on the group. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing you in the next one. We'll be taking it to a whole new level, believe it or not. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sasha.
I love you all. Thank you. Much love.